Jane from Reach18.com. I'm back and I'm doing game reviews again. Finally, it's been a long time coming, but thank you for bearing with me, and I hope in the meantime you enjoyed the unboxing videos of the Loot Crate and the Geek Box. So I've picked quite an easy, light game to start off with to ease me back into it gently, and I'm choosing Patchwork by Uwe Rosenberg. If you don't know, Uwe Rosenberg is more well known for heavy Euro games such as Agricola, Caverna, Le Havre, but he is known for lighter games as well, such as Bonanza. This is another one of his two-player games, but a lot lighter than Fields of Arles. So let's take a look at how this game plays and see if it's any good.
Right, so this is Patchwork. This is your quilt, and the other player will have a quilt also, which is green. But for the purpose of this video, we'll just have a look at this because it'll just be exactly the same for the other person. So this is a watered down setup of the game. In the actual game, you'll have a lot more patches in this. It's just so it's all in shot and you can see. So the aim of Patchwork is to get a complete quilt and to end up with as many buttons as possible at the end of the game. The highest amount of buttons wins the game. So how do you obtain those buttons? There are two things that you can do on your turn. You can advance and receive buttons, or you can take and place a patch. Now, to advance and receive buttons, basically how it goes on this, you don't take alternate turns. So it's whoever's last will take a turn until they catch up with the other person on the board. So in this case, the green piece on top will go first, so he or she will always only move one space in front. So they'll move there, and they will gain one button because they have moved one space. So that's how the game buttons. And if the yellow person wants to do the same action, they will then move just one space in front of green, but they've moved one too, so they'll gain two buttons. So as you can see, depending on how the game is played and throughout, you can have multiple turns in succession. So this is something to bear in mind. Also, once you go past these button symbols on here, you get what's called button income. Also, if you know these patches on the board, if you land on the space before one or after, and you're the first person to do so, you take that patch and you place it immediately on your board. So let's have a look at buying these patches. Right, so if you're not advancing and receiving buttons, you'll be buying patches. And how you do that is, this is the token that you go from. At the start, it's always set up in front of this 1x2 patch here. And then you can only take up to the first 3 patches in front of this token here. So I could take that one, or that one. So let's have a quick look at the pieces. So as you can see, there's a symbol here what says 3 buttons and then 3 time, and it's got a button on the end here. So all this means is you pay 3 buttons to get that patch, and you move 3 spaces on this center board here. Once you buy a patch, you place it immediately on your board, and you put your currency into the bank, and then would move our place 3 spaces on the time meter, so it would go 1, 2, 3. So as you see here, we've just gone past the button symbol, which is button income, and that basically means once you've passed this on here, you would collect however many buttons are present on your quilt. So in this case, we've got 1 currently, so we'd just take 1 from the bank there. And once we've done that, we move this wherever we took the patch from. So it was the 3rd one, so we'd move it here. And then so on and so forth. Let's take a quick look at the end of the game scoring. So as you can see, we've come to the end of the game. And then you would look at your quilt. Obviously, imagine this was full or near enough full. If you have managed to complete all of your quilt without any spaces showing, you get this bonus marker here, which is worth 7 buttons. So you calculate your score by adding up all of your buttons that you have managed to collect, not including the ones that are represented on the patches on your board. Once you have done that, you minus 2 points for every space that is left on your board, and then that gives you the overall score, and the highest score wins Patchwork. First of all, I just want to say, wow, what a game. I've been trying to get hold of Patchwork for quite a while, and it's proven really difficult to get hold of. So I just want to give a big shout out to Mighty Raven on BGG for making it possible for me to get a copy through him. So big thank you for that. It was so worth the wait. This game, I love it. I love the whole aspect of always being able to pick different things, but sometimes if the patch that you want is not in the third space from you, you have to wait for the other player to move that pawn piece around, so then it gives you another 3 to select from, or you know, you might have to buy something that you don't really want in order to then move the piece and then, you know, push those pieces along. It's such a race against time. It's the only game I've ever played where you're so conscious of the time. You're constantly looking at that time clock thinking, I haven't got enough time, I've got loads of spaces on my Patchwork, but I haven't got a lot of buttons, and I need buttons to win at the end of the game. And it's not about buttons on your patch, but obviously as you go past those buttons on the board, you gain the buttons that are there on the patches on your quilt. It's an abstract game, so obviously if you're not a huge fan of abstract, you may not like this. Abstract's not usually an issue for me. The theme I think works really well on this. It's a great 2-player game. It's you have to try and not get too bogged down with how you can make everything fit together and utilize all of your moves to the best of your ability. To be honest, it's one of those games where you just struggle to get a positive score on. I've yet to get a positive score on it. It's just, I love the game. It's like a human game of Tetris where you're constantly trying to fit all of the pieces into each other, and then you're like, oh, that piece will do as it's going round, and then someone else takes a piece you want, and like, oh, I really need that piece. So it's so frustrating, and then you're getting down the time, and then the person's just picked up a piece with, it's like they have to move 6 places on the time meter, and so then you get another couple of goes to catch up with them. So it's like, do I take one patch with a huge movement value, or do I take a few little patches with less time movement so I can have multiple goes to catch up with them? There's a lot of thinking about how you're going to utilize your time in this game, and also how everything's going to fit together, because when it comes to the end of the game and it's scoring, those minus 2 points for every blank space is really crippling. And like I said, it's really hard to get just a positive score in this game. But for me, Patchwork, a huge hit and very well worth the wait. So if you can get hold of it, I suggest you grab it. There is talks of a second print. I have no further details on that, but if you just check out the usual places, I'm sure you'll be able to find information about that. And also I will try and keep an update on either the description in the video or on my website, breacher18.com. But thanks for joining me for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, and all that other good stuff. Thanks.